I want to deal with that converting your spirit. Because I don't want to just read these scriptures to you and you being here. Since you have a lot of knowledge in the scripture. But then the thing is, you got to let it relate in your spirit and how you conduct yourself. Right. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? As we read these scriptures now, it takes more for you to want to look into this. But like the captain said, being able to come to our school, fellowship with us. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is looking for his people to come back to the culture on who they are and being around like-minded people.
That's right.
I was looking for y'all. I mean, I didn't even look for y'all. Y'all was just there, and I was like, I didn't come see what they talking about.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, he like put y'all in my pathway. I didn't even need to come down that street, and I was just standing there.
Right, that's the most I got, because the Lord wants this gospel to be preached throughout the four corners.
Well, Most High Christ bless. Ha! Order, nation in order, my house in order. Who those prophets on the corner? What's that about? They say the Bible just for me, I gotta check it out. You scoffers ain't ready for me, I'm finna bring it out. My house is in order, my people, I can teach them now. Who those prophets on the corner? What's that about? They say the Bible just for me, I gotta check it out. You scoffers ain't ready for me, I'm finna bring it out. My house is in order, my people, I can teach them now. He leading captivity, shall go in captivity.
What about you, sis? What do you see yourself in on this side? So, in the Bible, what you will be known as? Issachar. That's what God has called you in the scriptures. That's right. Because guess what? You're not going to find Mexican or Salvadorian in the Bible. You're not going to find Hispanic in the Bible. So, in order for y'all to understand that this Bible is a real book, you got to see your God-given nationality in this Bible. So what would you consider yourself to be? American black. So who are you in the Bible? You got to say it with confidence. Say it again. That's right. What about you, sister? Who are you in the Bible? You are Judah. That's right. Now let me show y'all something heavy about that. Get Jeremiah 17:4.
Bring it on.
I'm going to show y'all why y'all in this position now to where y'all don't call yourself by Judah or Issachar. But y'all call yourself by name that was contrary to what God called y'all. And this is just to show you that, guess what? This Bible is a real book. You just haven't had anyone to be able to show you how this Bible is so real. Watch this, read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage with that I gave thee.
So, God, the Most High, that created this earth, that created the waters, that created y'all as individuals, he said, you yourself will discontinue from your heritage. What does that mean? That's going into you losing your identity on who you are. When did this happen? For the so-called blacks, known as Judah in the scriptures, this happened during the time of 1619 when y'all was brought here on slave ships from Africa. That's when y'all discontinue from who you are, and now you're known as Negro or black or African American. But in the Bible, you're known as Judah.
That's right.
For the so-called Mexicans. In the Bible, Issachar. When did y'all discontinue from who you were as a nation of people? In the late 1400s, 1492 to be exact. Christopher Columbus, the conquistadors, Hernan Cortez, they came over here and they conquered y'all. Are y'all familiar with that history? So I want y'all to comprehend something. Before y'all was known as Mexicans, before the conquistadors came here, y'all had a nationality. Y'all had a culture dealing with this Bible. That's why y'all wore fringes on the bottom of y'all clothes during that time before the conquistadors came here. Y'all had a culture that was found in these scriptures. But let's read this Bible again. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So what y'all got to see, I know I'm talking loudly, but it's so that everybody can be able to hear, because it's more than just y'all I'm dealing with, right? But going back to my point, the reason why the Lord said this would happen is about to explain itself. But what y'all got to see is that this is a prophetic book. This was written about 3,000 years ago, and God prophesied of the 12 tribes of Israel being discontinued from who they were as a people. Read.
I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
So when we was discontinued from who we were, he said he's going to cause us to serve our enemies. Guess what? What happened during the 1500s? They forced the so-called Hispanics to be able to worship the cross and to be able to confess a white image of Jesus. And if you didn't, guess what happened? They would use the leaders as an example by putting them to death and putting them on the cross so that the rest of your people can be able to see that. That way they can have fear in them and have no choice but to serve whatever God they're giving to them so that their children and their family can survive. The same thing happened during 1619. I remember you, sis. You was here last year, right?
I was.
So guess what? I don't know who you are in the Bible, but if you're so-called black and Hispanic, this time just humble yourself. Just listen. Because guess what? What we're bringing out is for the salvation of our people. So just be patient, all of you. Read.
I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So, before you leave, because I know you want to go, I know that over there, that looks so entertaining to you. That looks like that's where the fun is at, right? I know it looks fun over there, but I want you to see something. What's happening right now is the Lord trying to call y'all to save y'all soul. Because what that event entails has nothing to do with what the scriptures entail. The scripture, as a matter of fact, let's hold this real quick. It's Ecclesiastes 7:29. I'm going to show you why the Lord created men and women. He gave us a specific purpose. But once we go outside that purpose, that's when we have a life of chaos. That's when we have a life of lawlessness. Brother, why are you in, matter of fact, get it, Exodus 23:1. Hold that in Exodus 23:2. Because guess what? As these scriptures coming out and you see that the laws of God are being established, this is the spirit you got to make sure that you're not walking in. Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
So the scriptures are saying don't follow a multitude to do evil. The evil is right before you here. Because this has nothing to do with God. But I pray everyone that hears this message is able to receive that. Now go back to what I told you, Ecclesiastes 7:29. Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright.
So, God made the so-called blacks and Hispanics to be upright. What does it mean to be upright? It means the keeping of the commandments. Let's hold that and get 1 Kings 9:4. Let's show you what it means to be upright. And for all of you that feel as if there's no condemnation or that there's no opposing against God with your actions, I dare you to challenge yourself by coming to the men who have the Bible. Let's see if this is a fairy tale book. Prove yourselves. Read.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 9, verse 4. Bring it out. And if thou wilt walk before me.
So what does it mean to be upright according to this Bible? Read.
As David thy father walked. In integrity of heart and in uprightness.
So David walked uprightly, and he's relaying this message to King Solomon. If anybody is familiar with King Solomon, you would understand the message that he gave to him. Just before we move forward, did you have any questions? Or you just hit a list? Go to the website. Somebody get their sister a flyer. Let's get a sister a flyer, and on the back of that flyer, it has the website. But let me ask you this: before you do leave today, before you leave from here, what is your nationality on this board here? To your right, you have what you're known as today in society. To the left of that, it will be what's known according to the Bible. So do you see yourself on the sign?
No.
So what is your father's nationality?
I don't know. I don't have a dad.
You don't have that. Watch this. Just give Romans 8:16. What's your last name? If you don't mind me asking.
B-A-R-T-E-E.
B-A-R what?
T-E-E.
And pronounce it.
R-T-E.
Do you know what's the origin of where that came from? Okay. Let's get this real quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16. Bring it out. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
So, the Bible is saying, Paul is saying that the Bible itself, which is the Spirit, it bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. As an example, when we go into these scriptures, there are certain things that the Lord tells us to do and not to do. Well, anybody that's of God and that hear God's word, right, their spirit will bear witness and they will change their lives to fit what God has created them for.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, what we are here to do is to be able to show our people this Bible, the knowledge, to turn them back to it. So I want you to keep in mind something. Hey, somebody find me that one scripture where it says, what pride is the beginning. Give me that scripture, but go back to Ecclesiastes 7:29. So right 10 and 12, let's make sure, but read this real quick. Yeah, 7:29. Because when God created everything in the beginning, right, in Genesis chapter 1, he made everything and he saw it was perfect. Everything that was on this earth was perfect because God himself has made it. Right. But then as time progressed, right, dealing with Cain and his descendants, the world started to begin to be corrupt. 12 and 13? Appreciate it.
12 and 13.
10 and 12, let's read this real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
So it says he made us upright, but then we sought many inventions, meaning more than what's just in these scriptures, we wanted to take up hold to. We wanted to assimilate into the cultures of the other nations. Because the Israelite man and the Israelite woman was given the commandments and the oracles of God during the time of Mount Sinai with Moses. And we was given that to walk in that. Right. But we stopped doing that because we saw other nations round about us and we wanted to do like them. Right? Now watch this. Let's get that one you got.
Sirach chapter 10 verse 12.
So this is dealing with the environment that we're in now. Right? You know we not out here just for no random reason. You know why we out here? We see a situation going on and we understand the Bible, and as leaders of the scriptures, it's our objective to come out here and show our people what the Bible makes reference to. Right. Now watch this. Listen closely to this verse right here. Preach.
The book of Sirach chapter 10 verse 12. Bring it up. The beginning of pride.
So I want y'all to understand something as y'all walking forward. The Most High God is saying something about the pride event here. But I want y'all to be able to listen to what he's about to say. Let's read it again.
The beginning of pride.
So God is saying the beginning of pride, which is the name of this event. Read.
Is when one departed from God.
So the beginning of pride is when one departs from God. Say it again. That's not of the Lord. You sure that's not of the Lord? Even though we just read the scriptures, you telling me that what I just read is not of the Lord. Does that make sense to you? Read that again.
The beginning of pride.
So just like this individual here, in order for a person to have pride, God wants you to be humble. He wants you to fear him. The way you show that you fear God is that when you hear the commandments, you will humble yourself to it because you fear God and his judgment. So he says the beginning of pride, how do you know if an individual has pride? They do anything that's contrary to what God is telling them to do. Right. So the beginning of pride, read,
is when one departed from God.
It's when one departs from God. So you told me it wasn't godly, but yet you're walking away as I read the scriptures. That's what I'm showing you, sis. That lets you know when somebody's spirit bears witness with this Bible. They want to learn more of what this Bible's about. They want to know if this befits their soul, if they're walking right. If you have a question, what's the purpose of your life, then guess what? The Bible has the answer to everything. Right. To everything. You can challenge me if you want. But I studied this Bible long enough to know that there's no error in the scriptures. Right. There's no contradiction in the scriptures. Right. Let's get Isaiah 34 and 16. This book is a book of prophecy. Bring it out. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16.
And I'm going to show you, after I read the scripture, I'm going to show you something that's prophetic for today. Read.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So the Lord is telling every individual out here, seek in the book of this Bible and read. Read it. Don't just let people tell you what it says. Read it yourself. Read.
No one of these shall fail.
There's nothing in this Bible that's going to fail. I pray that y'all understand that.
Who's answering questions?
Read.
None.
Hold on. You got a question?
I got multiple.
So check this out. I want you to stay right there.
Okay.
Let me finish my 2 points, and then I got you. All right? Let's be patient with each other. Read.
None shall want her mate.
There's nothing that you can equate on this earth in comparison to this Bible. There's nothing that's going to meet the mate of this Bible. So some people, they hold to the philosophy of other books. But then God is telling you these other books is not even in comparison to what this Bible is able to show you and understand. Read.
For my mouth it hath commanded.
So the mouth of God commanded this book. And I'm going to show you as an example how God commanded this book. Let's get Revelations 11 and 8.
Bring it up.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 8. You know about Revelations, right? A lot of the pastors, they say don't go into that book. That's a sealed book. But I'm here to show you that guess what? That book is not sealed. They just that God has not given them the understanding because they don't keep the commandments of God. Once you start to apply the commandments of God as it says in the scriptures, that's when you're going to start to increase in your understanding. You see that movie, The Matrix? With Neo? Understand that in that movie, the illusion or the system that was created was a system to keep them going in that system. That's what happened with the blacks and Hispanics. We was brought here on slave ships, and we was created to help a system continue to keep going. You know what you call being in the matrix today. But watch what the Lord says about this. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. Bring it up. And their dead bodies.
So, the Bible was always referring to the 12 tribes of Israel. It's saying their dead bodies. I want y'all to understand something. It's not talking about them literally being dead, but it's talking about zombies. Right. Have you seen that movie? What's the name of that TV show? The Walking Dead. Have y'all seen that? That movie is making mockery of us as a people because guess what? Even though we're walking around, our mind frame is gone. We're zombies today. So watch what it says. Read it again.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
What is that great city today? America. It's going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. Remember, sister, I said this is a prophetic book. So I'm not saying these things for no reason. I'm not just pulling stuff out my behind. Watch as time progresses and I bring the scripture out. You're going to know that this is a real book. Read.
You said 2 points.
And their dead bodies.
No, this is the second point. The first point was Isaiah 34 and 16. The second point is Revelation 11 and 8.
Bring
this
it
is
up.
the second point. Then I'm going to answer a question. I told you, be patient with me and I'll be patient. Read.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So the Lord saying America, which is that great city, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. What happened during the time of Sodom when Abraham and Lot was on the scene? You had men that wanted to, how do you say, rape other men in the Bible.
Bring it out.
You had men that wanted to rape other men in the Bible during the time of Sodom. That was the spirit that was there. Hey sis, I pray that while y'all are here, I understand y'all might want to talk, but listen to the message because this is way more important than what y'all might be having.
You know what you're talking about?
I have no idea, but I know the scriptures are coming out. And I know that a person's interpreting give you the understanding of the scriptures.
That's right.
I think it's better to listen to that. It might sound strange to you, it might be something to be offended by, but don't, because this message is more important than anything.
Right. That's right.
Listen to me, sis, and be patient with your brother. You multitask.
I need you to reciprocate the same energy with me. You understand why? Because for somebody to be shown something new, she has no grasp of what you're saying. She don't understand what you're saying. That's why she wanted me to talk.
Do you know why I'm talking like this?
But I need you to understand the.
Can you ask me why I'm talking like this? Instead of just trying to tell me how I'm supposed to talk, ask me why I'm talking like this.
For us to be patient with each other, I need to continue the statement so you can understand the gravity of who you're talking to.
Okay, I understand that. Now check this out. I'm going to show you why I talk like this in the Bible. And it's not to demonize anybody. I have to roll in the spirit of this Bible because
bring it up.
As you look in this Bible, you see the men of God. Christ gave them specific commandments on where to go and teach at, how to teach, what's the message that we should be teaching, to cause people to repent and turn to this Bible and not follow men. Let's go Isaiah 58 and 1. Now watch this. This is why I talk like this.
Bring it up.
Right? And I want you to see. I want you to see something. Look behind you real quick. You see that? There's more people than just you here.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we have a speaker here.
Yeah.
We want this message to relate to every individual. That way everybody has the chance to hear this gospel before the end of the time happens.
That's right.
So watch this, read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1.
And notice I'm reading the scripture to justify my actions. Read.
Cry aloud.
So Isaiah was given the understanding by the Most High God to cry aloud. What does that mean? It's about to explain ourselves. Read.
Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Do you know what a trumpet is?
Of course.
So when you blow a trumpet, remember back during the ancient times when war was about to happen, when marriage was about to happen, you had calls to be able to be called before the whole entire nation for them to be able to hear a distinct sound or knowing what time it is. So the Lord is comparing that to our voices, to cry out loud and spare not, and to lift up our voice like trumpets.
Right.
Read.
Right. And show my people their transgression.
And the objective as we cry aloud and spare not is to show our people their transgressions.
Right.
Read.
And the house of Jacob their sin.
And the house of Jacob their sin. So now you see why I talk like that, right?
That it wasn't about the diction, it's about the approach, right? So if you are delivering the message you say you are, some people can't grasp that who Jesus is and Jehovah is.
John 10:27.
Bring it out.
Is not.
Bring it out.
I understand what you're saying, sis. But look, I want you to escape from the way we was raised up as a people in our mind. Because you might not know it, but you being, the way that you're speaking is the understanding that's coming from television, that's coming from a corrupted school system, that's coming from a corrupted religion system.
Bring it up!
So even though you might think that what you're saying is right, I want you to see that what I'm reading is the scriptures. And even though you might want the message to be delivered a certain way, guess what? The Lord wants you to understand that your soul is on the line. Just like if you was to walk off a cliff, if you had an individual say, hey, stop, don't do that. Come on, what are you doing? You're not going to listen to the individual. But if you tell a person, stop what you're doing, guess what? They're going to wake up and they're going to realize, damn, what am I doing right now? You see what I'm saying? Read this.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice.
So the Bible is saying, Christ is saying, my sheep hear my voice. How do we hear God's voice? When we open up these scriptures, and guess what? You start to comprehend the grasp of who you are in the Bible. Keeping the God's commandments, returning back to your heritage. You understand what I'm saying?
I never left.
You never left from your heritage. Let's read Jeremiah 17 and 14. So like I said before, the things that you're regurgitating is knowledge of this world. But the things in this Bible is what I told the one sister here. It's prophecy where God said it shall come to pass. So watch another prophecy that it came to pass. Bear with me. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself,
thou, even yourself, read,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
You're going to discontinue from your heritage.
Excuse me, my verbiage was incorrect. I never left the culture.
You never left the culture?
I never left the culture.
You sure about that?
But the heritage is
so what is the culture that we supposed to keep that you never left?
Church, this right here is church. The study of the word, the commandments of the word, the culture of the word, I never left. Right, but the heritage, I agree, I did leave behind the pagan holidays. All of the above, all of that. I left it behind. So I do understand.
Hey brother, hey, give me some time. Hey brother, give me some time. If you got time, come around here. But watch this, sis. What you think, what you making reference to, you haven't discontinued from, but the culture is this Bible. Now watch this. Watch the culture.
Wait, you said, I'm sorry, you said what I was mentioning I did not discontinue from?
Right.
Like,
you said you never left from your culture. That's what you just told me.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to show you is that you might think that's the case. I mean, I understand you got the fro, that's a beautiful thing. But guess what? That's the image of what the world has portrayed for the proud black man. But then when it comes to the proud Israelite in the Bible, there's much more.
I just washed my hair today. I just needed to air dry.
That's just an example, sister. Just an example.
I was like, I'm
but then guess what? Check this out. I'm gonna give you an example. When you look at the so-called Asian people or so-called East Indians, they have a specific culture, right? Just like the Chinese people, you know they're assimilating to the American culture because before they never wore suits and ties. They had their own type of apparel. The way they deal with their marriages is different than assimilated in America. So we as blacks and Hispanics, we had a culture.
Wait, so I got a question about that too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interject, but I got.
Let me finish my point, then I'm gonna ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Us as the blacks and Hispanics, we had a specific culture where the same thing as a heritage. The Lord said we was going to discontinue from.
Yes.
And that has happened.
I think it's more the mentality.
You're right. But then guess what? The mentality that you have will show forth through your outer appearance as well.
That's right.
But now, what's your question?
So do y'all consider yourselves black?
So let's get Jeremiah.
That's what I need to
Jeremiah 14 and 2. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Jeremiah 14 and 2. Do we consider ourselves black?
Jeremiah chapter 14 verse 2. Judah mourneth.
What did the Bible say?
Judah mourneth.
So God calls us Judah.
That's right.
And he says Judah is in mourning. How are we in mourning right now? We don't have no leaders to be able to show us the correct way how we should walk. But now in these last days, God's raising up his prophets to be able to show how a sister like yourself is supposed to walk in the Bible, how a man is supposed to walk, how to be able to fix broken marriages. What's the relationship between a man and a woman? How should it be? This is what we discontinue from as a culture.
That's right.
But he says, what? Read it again.
Judah mourneth.
The so-called black people, Judah, are in mourning. Read.
And the gates thereof languish.
The gates is referring to our leadership. Because in the Bible, we would have a quarter set up where it was gates there, and you would have all the people be able to go to the gates to be able to report their problems and get their problems fixed. But God is saying our leaders have languished, meaning they failed. Read.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
So to answer your question, black is only a color and describing how we look. But who we are Israelites from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
What's the next question?
Moroccans, because my mother's a Moor. So when it comes down to nationality, who am I directing this to? You gonna answer it?
Yeah. We're right here, right here.
My nationality, I'm everything. My mother's Korean, my father's Jamaican, and an Israelite. So for myself, when you say get away from those heritage things, you know, coming back to being a Moor. So I know you guys say I'm originally an Israelite, but my name is Humi Ruth, like Ruth from the Bible, but Ruth was a Moab woman first before she came into the Israelite family. So when you say everybody, or do you guys say for us, we're Israelites? What about the breakdown there with Ruth and Boaz?
Okay, real quick, it goes according to the Father. Numbers 1:18. Real quick.
And that's the follow-up question. Oh, sorry.
Let me answer that, because I got a question for you.
Okay.
After we answer that, I got a question for you,
No
right?
problem.
Ruth, right?
Humi Ruth.
Humi
Humi
Ruth.
like Humi Ruth.
Okay, Humi Ruth. I got a question for you after we answer this. According, you said your mother's Moab, Chinese and Japanese.
She's Asian and Moroccan. My father's Jamaican and Hebrew.
Okay. So your father is Jamaican, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is his father?
Yoruba, I think.
Okay. Come on.
The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 1. As you were. Chapter 1, verse 18.
Bring it out.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
So that's letting you know, according to your father, it pertains to what lineage you are, or what nationality you are. Right. So you said your father is Jamaican, so that would mean your father would be what, from the tribe of Benjamin, all right? Benjamin, all right? So we answered that question. Now I got a question for you, sis.
Yes.
Tell me about that rainbow you got on.
I'm not.
What does it mean?
This is audio.
Okay.
This is what that means. It means we need to vote for her. That's
okay, all right. So let me ask you a question. What is your knowledge on that rainbow that you got on?
Honestly, I'm very sprightly, so I just like the colors.
Okay, you like the colors.
I don't.
So let me ask you this. You know that it's Gay Pride Day, whatever the case, right?
Yeah.
So now, let me ask you something. Dealing with today is Gay Pride Day, right? So do you know the history why they use the rainbow?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I do not.
Okay. Let's go into what the rainbow represents.
Oh, the bow.
Yes.
But you know, a rainbow is not actually rainbow, it's just called a bow.
Right. So what does it represent? Unity? Okay, watch this. I'm gonna show you.
Bring it out!
Say it again.
The first rainbow, God will never destroy the earth and water again.
Right. Okay, let's read it. But watch who it pertains to. It only pertains to our people. It's being abused down here right now. All right, come on.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 12. Bring it out. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you.
You see that? He said, I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you. Give me the next covenant the Lord made, Hebrews 8:8. The Lord only made a covenant with the 12 tribes of Israel. We already established, Humi Ruth. We already established that the Lord made a covenant with the 12 tribes of Israel. Not the other nations, not the Edomites, all right? Because these so-called apologetic Christians and all this other stuff, they out here blasting homosexuality. The Lord ain't dealing with y'all. When Christ come on the scene, y'all going into captivity. Right? That's the end of the story, all right? Read it again.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant.
You remember the covenant that he made in Genesis? Come on.
A new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
You see that? He said, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, representing the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, right? So the point what I'm bringing out is, it's being perverted. That rainbow does not belong to perverseness. That rainbow does not belong to homosexuality. That rainbow belongs to the Israelites.
That's right.
You see that? Read it again.
Right. Hebrews chapter 8 verse 8. When he fought with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
You see that? He makes a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31. Right? Because it's a lot of evil. Our people love following after the other nations. You understand? Since I ain't trying to get on you, I'm using you as an example. But a lot of times our people love watching what the other nations do, right? Sister, you a beautiful sister. You an Israelite sister, right? But the Lord commanded you. You know how you can enhance your beauty more? It's putting on a dress.
That's right.
Because when you read Deuteronomy 22 and 5, the Lord commanded, our sisters to wear a dress, all right? Read what you got.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1.
31. 3 and 31.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
You see what happens? The Lord said, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Choose none of his ways. Have our people chose the ways of America? Yes, by being out here indulging in homosexuality, indulging in fornication. Why do you think people out here, sin? Why do you think a lot of our people out here, everybody out here, a lot of them are half dressed? Because what homosexuality deals with is lust. All right, it's lust. All right, it's inordinate affection. All right. So let me give you that.
Study with y'all.
Right. Give me 94:20. Psalms 94:20. I want to bring out one more point because, sis, you know what's so important about what we're doing out here? We want to change our people's mind right side up. Because
12 and 2.
Okay, all right. So we got to get Deuteronomy 22 and 5 in your spirit. Bring it out. All right, come on. Read what you got.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity.
Who is the throne of iniquity? America.
That's right.
Including those apologetic Edomites that walk around here talk about God's gonna kill you. You must do this, do that. The Lord ain't dealing with y'all.
That's right.
Christianity done covered the earth 10 times over. Right? You getting the same judgment for the other people that put our people in captivity. You're going into captivity too. Right? Slavery was good enough for me. It's good enough for you. Read what you got.
Psalms chapter 94 verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity.
America is the throne of iniquity. Come on.
Have fellowship with thee.
So should we fellowship with homosexuality? The sin? Should we fellowship with that? We out here telling our people repent. We ain't condemning them. They got a chance. All right? We love our people. We out here for a labor of love. Remember when we saw you earlier? You our sister. We love you, right? Come on.
Which frameth mischief by a law.
Read it again.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Shall we fellowship? Should we join hand in hand with the wicked? Come on.
Which frameth mischief.
Frameth mischief. By what?
By a law.
Gay marriage. Frame mischief by law. All right? A lot of our people, they love Obama. Obama ain't do nothing for you black people. He did more for homosexuality than he did for his own people. All right? So our people are showing you our people love delusion, sisters. What's your question?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Dang, I lost it.
Okay, while you thinking about that, I want to compliment your hair, all right? Give me Daniel 9 and 7. You know,
bring it up.
7 and 9, all right? Because, sister, I'm going to tell you something. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, hair look like yours.
That's right.
All right? A lot of people don't know because if they knew, their hair wouldn't be permed. Say it again?
We're the only ones our hair can grow up.
Right.
Perm takes the aluminum out of you. People don't understand the hair is what's in your knowledge. These nerves is just dead skin. So for you to perm something that was God-given, it's taking away who you are.
Right. And I'm glad you have that pride on you that you love your natural hair. Don't ever let nobody change that.
That's right.
Sis. But you know what's missing? That godly apparel.
Right.
And I gotta use a little hot today. I promise you I was coming out here and man, my daddy done raised me right. I know what you're talking about.
Sis, think about a nice linen dress, how cool you would be out here right now.
Royal. That's why I say you don't even know who you're talking about.
Right. Come on.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. Bring it out. I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Yes. That includes America. Right. America's gonna be thrown down. Right. Along with the Edomites that love the Bible too. Right. All right? You say you love God, but when Christ come, that black man cracked the sky, are you ready for the change? Right. Read it again.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
I beheld till all the thrones on the world were cast down. China, Russia, Iran, America, Britain, right. All these different countries, the thrones are going to be cast down. The governments are going to be crushed. The armies are going to be crushed. Right. The nations, the governments are going to be at the footstool of the Israelites.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Most High God did sit. Come on.
Whose garment was white as snow.
Whose garment, that's showing you, sis, he had on a body. It says his garment was white as snow. Come on. You know the Lord, you know the Most High had a clean garment on. You know that, right? Come on.
Like a kid.
And the hair of his head.
His hair on his head was what?
Like the pure wool.
Like the what?
Pure wool.
Like Labrador Retriever hair that's sitting on these Edomites that think they're Caucasians.
Pure wool.
Like the pure wool.
That's right.
Like the pure wool, sister. So love your hair, love yourself, come out of this stuff. Sister, you know what you really need to do? Put that up and come to the school this Saturday.
That's right.
Also, Michael, buckle down.
Can I get a flyer?
Yeah, get a flyer.
Make sure to get this sister flight. Hey, but watch this, watch this. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 13:1. Because I'm going to elaborate on what the captain just brought out. Because when it comes to how we look at the people, guess what? We got that image created from God, the Most High God himself. Watch what this scripture say. 1.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Bring it up. Surely, verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty had created them.
So it says the first author of beauty. That's the Most High God himself. Wisdom of Solomon 13:3. It says the Most High himself, the author of beauty, created them. Now, I'm going to show you something. Watch this. Get Genesis 1:26. Because it's something special about the so-called blacks and Hispanic, Israelite man and woman. We're different from the rest of the races that's on this earth. The Lord created us to be special before him. But that's twofold. I'm going to show you something. Because the captain made reference to how the beauty of your hair is and comparing it to this Bible to show the Most High God had the same type of hairstyle that you did. Now watch this. Read.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
So God said, let us make men in our image. That's why we look the way we look today. That's why we're the beauty on this earth. You got a question? I got you. So read.
After our likeness.
Now it goes into after our likeness. This is the point that I wanted to get to. I'm going to show you not only did the Most High have the likeness of the beautiful wool, but watch this. Let's get Matthew 5:48. I'm going to show you what else that God said when he created us for us to be in his likeness. Bring it out. Watch this.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
So, not only do the Most High God want us to look the part, but he wants us to conduct ourselves and act the part. So it says, be ye therefore perfect, read.
Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
So then go back to Genesis 1:26. He says, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Right? Now watch this, read.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
So he's telling them that we're supposed to have dominion over everything that's on this earth. Right. But remind you, we have to be in his likeness. Not only is it the mental aspect, I mean a physical aspect, but it's that mental aspect. Now what does it mean when it comes to us being perfect? Let me show you that and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Psalms 19 and 7. Psalms 19 and 7. And then I'm gonna deal with also too what Captain was making reference to dealing with the attire. Or I might just let Abraham do it. Psalms chapter 19, verse 7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. And the Lord is perfect.
So, in order for us to take up hold to that characteristic of being described as perfect by God, we have to take up hold not only to the look and the attire and the royalty, but also to the mental aspect of the applying of God's commandment. That's a lot that the Lord is asking us to change from. Because the system that we created from, that we was born in, that's all completely against God. That's why you have this event going on now today. There's much more than that of us as an individual. Because the Lord is commanding us in these last days to come back together as a nation. You can see right now we have that crab mentality bucket. We don't know how to come together and operate as families supposed to.
Crabs don't belong in the bucket though, that's the problem.
You're right about that. You definitely, there's a trap. This world right here is a trap. And we in this system. You see what I'm saying? Read.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 7. The Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
So, it's perfect, and that's what converts our soul. It converts us to make us change from the way we used to operate with and being comfortable with to doing thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Read.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So it says the testimony of God is sure, making wise the simple. Let me ask you a question, sis. When it says making wise the simple, what are some things that our people are very simple on that this Bible will make us wise at? Let's see what you got. So what you mean by that?
If you go to the drought, 7 years
Dealing with Jacob.
Old Testament.
Yeah, dealing with Jacob.
Yes.
That's correct. I mean, yeah, Joseph. I'm sorry, forefather Joseph.
Joseph with the dream. So the food, people don't understand. We're about to go into a recession, right?
Right.
We got to get everything right now that we can, but it's not like the money is the resource. But you know how to budget with.
You're right. You definitely experienced.
I know I'm
because when you read in Ecclesiastes, it says for money is a defense. But then guess what? I'm going to show you something spiritual about that. When you're looking about people today, we're so destroyed mentally that guess what? The only way that we want to be able to show forth that we're good and treasurable people is by the flashiness that we have on the outside. But then the inside of our mind frame is so jacked up. You see what I'm saying? It's because we don't really know how to operate because of this system we was created in. So the only way we can be able to try to extinguish the royalty that we really are as a people is by the outer appearance. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it takes, like you said, going into the scriptures, dealing with a situation like Joseph. All of our forefathers, they did some righteous act. Our foremothers, they did a righteous act that we can always be able to read into the scriptures and take a hold to how they conducted themselves and let it translate within our spirit. So what's the question before we go into what I made reference to with that?
The lineage on the paternal side. So black women are the only one that can have the Eve gene, where we can produce any form of our children at any color.
You mean, right. You good.
So I have a question about the lineage. If it's only traced by the father, then what about all of the DNA my mother gave me to make me look like this?
So he read to you Numbers 1 and 18 already, right? So as you have, like, as an example, I'll give you an analogy dealing with fruit. As an example, you got what's known as an apple tree, right? That tree, it roots and then it grows and then it creates fruit. The seed is inside that fruit. Now, no matter where you go to be able to lay that fruit at, that seed that's inside the fruit, no matter where you go on this earth to be able to lay it, it's still gonna come back what? An apple. You see what I'm saying? That's the seed that's inside that fruit. Even though when you go to like California, the way the sun hits the earth in comparison to Texas.
I said, but it's through my father's lineage, though, is what you're saying.
That makes you who you are. Just like the seed inside of a fruit makes it what it is. Because depending upon the economy, I mean the climate, it could be green, it could be red, depending on the environment that it's in. But it's still the same exact fruit. There's nothing different. You see what I'm saying? So now let's get 1 Timothy 2 and 9. So remind you, I want to deal with that converting your spirit. Because I don't want to just read these scriptures to you and you being here, since you have a lot of knowledge in the scriptures. But then the thing is, you got to let it relate in your spirit and how you conduct yourself. You see what I'm saying? And guess what? As we read these scriptures now, it takes more for you to want to look into this. But like the captain said, being able to come to our school fellowship with us. You You know what I'm saying? The Lord is looking for his people to come back to the culture on who they are and being around like-minded people.
That's right. I was looking for y'all. I mean, I didn't even look for y'all. Y'all was just there, and I was like, I didn't come see what they talking about.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, he like put y'all in my pathway. I didn't even need to come down that street, and I was just standing there.
Right, that's the Most High God, because the Lord wants this gospel to be preached throughout the four corners.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. And our children too. We have abandoned. How are you? People want to know, who's the king?
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.